Let's show you these WORX Sawhorses because they have a unique design that's kind of taking over the market. And for a number of reasons, I'm completely convinced there's not a better product for a DIYer, and let's show you why. First, the Sawhorses are compact and light. They're only 2.5 inches wide, so that's 5 inches in total for the pair. They fold just by pulling up the shelf underneath, and then in that folded configuration, they hang completely flat, side by side, so that they're easy to pick up and move from one location to the next. And they weigh just under 8 pounds each, even with the clamp attached, but if you remove the clamp, they're actually under 7 pounds. But just a quick side note here, and hopefully by the time that you watch this, it will have been corrected and no longer an issue, but at the time that I'm recording this video, there's a pretty significant error appearing on the Amazon product page in 2 separate places, claiming that these Sawhorses weigh just 4 pounds each. And I've also seen this error repeated on Amazon in some other product review videos. But after weighing these Sawhorses on a digital scale in my shop, I can positively confirm that they weigh just under 8 pounds each. With the clamp attached, they're not 4 pounds. But to be honest, I wouldn't want Sawhorses that only weighed 4 pounds. They'd be way too light and flimsy, so that's probably a good thing. And look, the rest of the Amazon product page mentions the weight in a few places as being 17 pounds for 2 Sawhorses together, so it's obvious that the 4-pound claim wasn't intentional. Anyway, back to it. The design of the Sawhorse frame is all ABS plastic, and you may be wondering if you'd really want a plastic Sawhorse. And it's a fair question. And my answer is yes, ABS is totally fine. They're super strong and sturdy. They've actually engineered these to hold up to 1,000 pounds per pair of Sawhorses. And candidly, I need to get back into the gym because I can't lift more than 950 pounds these days. So I think I'm gonna be good, but know your limits. Down below, the legs have foot pads with rubbery treads to secure it in place on a variety of slippery or even wet surfaces. Of course, both of the Sawhorses are identical, so they both have a center shelf for a toolbox or nails or power tools. Both sides of each Sawhorse have an extension cord wrap. The tops have ridges that help hold your work in place, along with these orange buttons that are rubbery and grippy, so things are less likely to slip around. But of course, while ridges and orange buttons are super helpful, the real star attraction here for holding your work in place is the integrated clamp system. The set comes with 2 18-inch bar clamps, and they're actually a lot more interesting than I had expected. Not even counting the fact that they integrate with the Sawhorses, these are really good clamps. And I'm not someone who usually gets super excited about bar clamps, but these have a unique design where either end of the clamp can slide on the metal rod. As most of you probably know, typical bar clamps usually have one end that's anchored and the other end that slides when you pull a trigger. But these WORX clamps have a dual trigger design so that you end up having a lot more flexibility. And you might not think that's a big deal, but I run into situations where this design would have made all the difference. So let's give a round of applause to WORX for coming up with this. But the real magic starts when you pair these clamps with the Sawhorses. The front end of the clamp goes into the track, then the smaller half of the clamp goes in next, and then the grip pushes up against the Sawhorse. And it's important to mention that the grip end doesn't just sit there bumping and rattling around. It's actually locked into place when you do it right. You push it against the side of the Sawhorse, and then you lift up slightly, pull the trigger to retract the black button, push the grip forward and then down, and then finally release the handle, which locks it into place. And as I listen to myself explain this and try to show it clearly in video, I'm probably making it sound and look a lot more difficult than it really is. Once you've done it once, it'll make complete sense, and it'll take you less than a second to lock the grip correctly every time. And it's a really good system. You'll definitely like it. But overall, this is a terrific set of Sawhorses with a thoughtful and clever design that will help you get your work done. It's lightweight, it's strong, and the clamping system is a serious bonus feature, not a gimmick. You'll use it over and over again and be glad to have it when you need it. I hope this short video has helped you decide whether these WORX Sawhorses are right for you, and thanks for watching.